Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. I am Wiggle and this is a ridiculous build video. A few days ago I did a video reviewing the perk Pain Train, and after I recorded that I kind of got stuck in my head that maybe you could stack some other things with it. Pain Train by itself wasn't all that effective. I mean, you could kill stuff with it, but most stuff took a while to go down. And I will link that video in the description below. But I thought maybe if you stack some other stuff with it, you could actually I don't know, you could maybe make a sort of useful build. And so this was my attempt to make a build, a Pain Train build, as it were. And so it starts with the perks. We'll go with the legendary perks first. Let's see here. I have Sizzling Style for fire resistance, Funky Duds for poison resistance, and Electric Absorption for the Fusion Core recharge and the free healing. Also, What Rads, although the power armor I'm wearing has really good radiation resistance. Oh, and this is all done on a custom world, by the way, because rolling that power armor is just, yeah, it's stupid expensive. And so, yeah, to play around with this, that's what I did. Now, as far as the perks go, obviously we're using Pain Train, which, well, the perk says devastates and staggers enemies. I think devastate is really overstating things. Then I have lock and load, and then I have heavy gunner perks. Because of the gun, I will be using a gun with this. That's what makes it work. Is actually not just using Pain Train, but also other things. Grenadier, because my gun is explosive, so that's what the Grenadier is for. Fireproof for less explosion damage. Yeah, Tenderizer, but that's for the gun. That doesn't do anything for Pain Train itself. Let's see, we've got... Oh, and I'm not using... oh, what's that perk? There's the Full Charge, that's what it's called. Full Charge under Strength, which basically removes the cost, the action point drain from sprinting in power armor. I get my fusion cores tend to accumulate because of electric absorption. So because of that, I don't really need to conserve that cost. So then we have, let's see here, batteries included, but that's just for the the weight of the fusion cores, basically. Demo expert, again, because I have an explosive weapon. Stabilized, armor penetration for heavy gun. And let's see here. Born Survivor. That way I don't have to pay attention to my health when I'm running into stuff. I'll just automatically get a stim pack when my health gets low. Adrenaline, just rank 2 because that's what I have room for. Now Ricochet is actually it's actually a good perk in this case because I'm using a vampire gun. So not only will I do damage to enemies when it triggers, but it also gives me some healing. So and then good with salt for my food and to keep it fresh, and starchy genes for mutations. And let's get to the mutations, actually. Let's see. So one of the things, so we have electrically charged mutation, which can shock melee attackers. So that's another way that, kind of syncs really well with Pain Train, since we're getting up close and personal. And unstable isotope, a chance to irradiate melee attackers. Same thing, kind of synergizes with that perk. And then we are using our weapon real quick. I have a vampire's light machine. It's vampire explosive light machine gun, and so there's the free healing also because of the vampire effect, and also it's just a really good gun. Now here's the expensive part of this build. I'm using a full set of Strangler armor, Strangler Heart armor, power armor, and it gives you a set bonus, which basically gives acid damage to nearby enemies. So again, it syncs well with Pain Train and the 2 mutations as well. And what makes this expensive is I went for the primary effects I didn't care so much about. So what I'm going for is a secondary effect of increased AP refresh speed, because we are sprinting as much as we can, and so the AP drain is kind of constant. And so this, our AP is constantly coming back. So all the pieces have AP refresh, increased AP refresh speed, and they all have the 5% chance to deal 100 whatever. In this case is energy damage. This one is 5% chance of fire damage. Fire damage again. That's a helmet. That's energy damage. And we have fire damage. So again, so you're up close and personal, enemies are hitting you, and there's a 5% chance times 5. So each, 5% chance times 5 for them to actually take 100 of some sort of elemental damage. Now, as far as the, let's see, the torso has has Tesla coils on it, which gives energy damage, shock damage to nearby enemies as well. So that synergizes. I mean, all of this stuff just kind of works together really well. And then the legs have optimized servos, which reduces the cost when the AP cost when sprinting. And both legs have that. There's no arm mods, and then for the helmet, I just have the database, which gives you +2, I think, intelligence. Yeah, +2 intelligence, which obviously doesn't help with the build, but if you're still working on experience. Now, obviously, Strangler Heart, it uses Ultrasight mods. So if you don't know the Ultrasight mods, then because they can be hard to get, you can do this with any power armor. If you have them, if you know the mods, anything you can use. You just won't get the set bonus of the acid damage. And this also gives really good radiation damage. I didn't realize it was so good. Like I have what rads, which gives me 300, but then I'm getting another 560 on top just from the Strangler Heart armor. So I had no idea. I just never had used it before. So yeah, all this stuff synergizes, and I mean, yeah, you're going to use a gun at times. I mean, this isn't going to be something you can kill everything. I mean, you can. But some things it'll take forever, and that's what the gun is for. And also things that fly, like scorched bees, that's about it that flies, right? I don't think anything else does. But yeah, so a scorched beast, for example, if it's flying, you're not going to be able to do anything with this. But then you have a gun for that, and big creatures as well. But I think I've talked about this long enough. Let's see it in action. It is really fun. It's kind of entertaining, but I will show you now. And third person is where the entertainment value is in this for sure. Now with Scorched, I'm not even going to have the weapon out. I mean, I shouldn't need it. I should just be able to run into them. And for the most part, all the things I have should take care of them rather quickly. Yeah, there's they're not lasting very long. They're all dead. So yeah, against enemies that don't have a lot of resistance, like Scorched, it does a really good job. But I don't think I need to run through this whole place. I think that little demonstration on Scorch is enough. I don't need to kill Scorch over and over again. So here we are at Grafton Dam, which is where, I mean, the super mutants here are lower level. And I found that against lower level super mutants, this actually works fairly well. The higher one's not, see, he died. Like one hit, that guy died. Between all, yeah, I mean, they just all go down pretty quick for the most part. If I can get the direct hit. Little baby scared. I mean, there's just so many things we have working for us here, dealing damage that yeah, things just kind of die. Still no gun. Haven't had to draw the gun. Nothing. So it's yeah. Plus, you get to have a cool green cloud wherever you go, so that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I've never used Strangler Heart armor before, so yeah, it's something different, that's for sure. And I'm lucky enough to know the mods. Like, I don't know all the mods on it. In fact, I don't seem to know a lot of mods on it, but I did know the ones I needed, so that's good. So obviously, so lower level super mutants are not a problem. All right, so humans, I don't know, for some reason humans seem to, this is obviously not a human, but Feral Go Officer, obviously not a problem. Humans seem to be kind of a mixed bag. I kind of expected them to go down quicker than the super mutants did. But I'm finding them to be a little more sturdy for some reason. I don't know if it's because of the armor or what. I mean, I still won't need a gun through this part. But it won't be like a super insta-kill kind of thing. And I got a little unlucky with this one. This guy, most of the time that I've come here before, he's got a Gatling laser, which is just, you know, complete free healing for me. He just keeps me fully topped up and my fusion core the whole way. But as you can see, I had to use a stim pack right there, kicked in. Plus, I used a fusion core as well. I had 34, now I'm at 33, so yeah. got a little unlucky with that. But yeah, I don't know what it is about the why the Blood Eagles would be tankier than super mutants. Maybe just the level. Maybe it's just a level thing. I just don't know. And of course, they're not usually using energy weapons, which is funny. Usually when I come here, there's it's like a mix of energy and ballistic weapons, and so when you got like one guy, oh, someone's legendary. I didn't even notice. So, and here's where the gun comes in. You can get a little, just, you know, if you're just tired of dealing with them, just take out your gun and everyone's dead. Which is what you'd reasonably do, right? I mean, running through would be one thing for the entertainment value, but eventually you'd get, you know, you don't want to spend all day running through one little thing. So, let's do one more. I'll show you the tankiest, or well, yeah, probably the tankiest enemies in terms of like regular enemies that aren't bosses. I mean, one thing that's nice about this particular build is you could actually, like, if you're doing your dailies, if you're into doing dailies and you do through, you know, all the ones at Camden Park, you could basically just run through them and just ignore the enemies and they would all die. You don't have to use up any ammo or anything. So here we have, oh, fog crawlers. So if you're a place like this, you know, all your passive damage stuff is going to have some effect, but you're probably mostly going to be using guns in a place like this. I mean, you're just not going to be doing enough with this. I mean, it does have its limitations. I mean, as you can see, we're not doing anything to them at all. Or very little. I mean, they're getting something. So this is where having a gun is helpful. I mean, fog crawlers are pretty tanky just in general. I'm not used to shooting in third person. So then we go up here, and you can see our AP is just, it comes back so quickly because of this. But again, that's just stupid expensive. Oh, and he's a legendary, so there's just no way. Even with a gun, he's going to take a minute. But it's still fun. It looks fun, running into stuff and having all the elemental stuff. And the clouds surrounding him. So here's where having stabilize would be good, and I could cripple his legs, but I don't. And of course, this is just a battle that you could do with any old gun. Nothing special here. So the build is fun for lower level stuff that doesn't have a high, you know, high damage resistance. But against higher level stuff, it just, obviously you're going all gun. There's no running into stuff. I mean, you can. I did this when I was testing it out. I actually did take down the behemoth, just running into it back and forth, and it took a very long time. I also did it against a sheep squatch as well, and that even took longer. The sheep squatches are just super tanky. Yeah, I'm not a... Oh, there we go. Oh, because, yeah, and you do get... And I guess you do get some damage with the acid damage or whatever on your gun. It's part of the set bonus from the Strangler Heart. But, yeah. I think you see the limits, you know, what this build can do and what the limits of it are. But I just thought it was really fun. I don't plan to run this. There's just no way I would spend all the modules it would take to roll that exact combination of armor. Because I do think that AP refresh, you may not need 5 pieces, but I think you definitely want 5 pieces of the armor that, you know, of the third effect that has a chance to deal elemental damage to melee attackers. And I think for the most part in power armor, I prefer having weapon weight reduction. But if you feel like having fun, or if you have you know, you want to screw around in a custom world, this has been a very entertaining. I mean, this video is not that long, but I spent a lot of time testing this out, and it's very addictive. Just finding, oh, what else can I run around and run into, and yeah. So for a change of pace and entertainment, I'd recommend giving this a go. But yeah, I think that's that's it. I think you get the point. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.